Eating healthy is expensive. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was talking to a prospective client the other day, and she was telling me how, the question was, what have you done or been doing to try to get into good shape? And she told me that she did paleo, she did Optivia, which I did a whole video on that scam. You could click the link on the channel and you could watch that video, but neither here nor there. She said she was doing paleo. So I said, well, okay, why did you stop doing paleo? It was expensive. So I did that exactly, like scratching my head. Well, you have to go to the grocery store anyway. You need to buy groceries, and I understand groceries are not expensive, but you need to buy groceries anyway. So is that the truth? Is eating healthy more expensive? The answer is no. It's not more expensive. You have to buy things anyway, so you have to buy stuff at the store. It's just a matter of choosing the different options. Yes, healthier alternative things are more expensive. So for example, and I love using this one, diet muffins, which again, it's a whole nother scam that a lot of those companies were flagged and they're off the market now. But back in the day, there used to be these diet muffins. They used to be like this big, and they were like $6 for 4 muffins, which is really crazy expensive when you compare it to regular muffins for like $2. But anyway, these muffins were just really, really expensive. So things like that is where it can get expensive. But eating healthy just in general is not expensive. Think about it. What are the things that constitute a healthy eating plan? Well, you have your lean sources of protein. So you have chicken, you have fish, you have lean beef. They're all pretty much the same price as the regular. So for example, lean beef, and I usually get it anywhere between 90 is probably the lowest I'll go, all the way up to 96, depending on if the store has it. So for a pound and a half, whatever I usually get, is like $6 for the pound of really lean beef, as of currently as I'm recording this in 2022. And the fattier version of the meat, which is like 85, is like $5.50. So it's a dollar more, but that dollar more is an investment that I'm making in my health, because now I'm cutting out all those extra calories, I'm cutting out all that extra saturated fat, and now I'm left with just the lean protein in order to build muscle and help me to keep my calories lower. So that dollar investment is worth it, but it's not much different. It's a dollar. And again, I don't know most people who buy 75, 80, 85 ground beef anyway, so it's not really that much of a difference. Or if you don't like the beef, you can go with the chicken. Ground chicken, ground turkey. They're all pretty much the same price. So there's really not that much of a difference there. Again, what's another healthy alternative, especially if you want to look at paleo as a diet? Sweet potatoes. Potatoes are dirt cheap. They're not expensive. So I'm very confused. When people say that eating healthy is expensive, it is just an excuse. They spend more money eating out than they actually do at the grocery store. If you shop correctly and buy things, only the things that you need, it's relatively cheap to eat healthy. Yogurt is relatively cheap, lean yogurt especially. Oatmeal is really, really cheap. I'm trying to think of egg whites. Eggs are cheap. All those things are not expensive. Whey protein powder is not that cheap, especially is cheap per serving. So think about it. A serving of whey protein should cost you anywhere between $1 and $1.50 for the same amount of protein as a chicken breast. So it's not expensive to eat healthy. It's just a matter of what you're doing shopping. So don't use that as an excuse. Again, it's just a really, really bad excuse. You have to buy groceries anyway, and it's not cheaper to buy the alternative or the non-healthy stuff. Like, I'm trying to think of what's a non-healthy thing that people buy, and I used the muffin example before, and I think that's a good one. But frozen dinners, we could go with those frozen dinners. Okay, yeah, frozen dinners are a lot cheaper, and frozen dinners, I don't know who really actually eats those, but whatever, someone gets frozen dinners, right? So if you get a frozen dinner, which is full of preservatives and everything like that, maybe that dinner's $4 or $5. A piece of chicken breast and some rice is relatively cheap, very easy to make, and probably costs less than that frozen dinner. So eating healthy is not expensive. I can't believe I'm still hearing this, but people make any type of excuses they can not to follow things. And I can guarantee if we actually did a rundown of what that person was spending on food, you'd probably see majority of the food that they were eating was out. And if they altered their budget, they probably would actually save money. So eating healthy is not expensive. if you know how and what to buy. It can be relatively cheap. Like I said, potatoes are really cheap, protein sources are really cheap, vegetables are really cheap. I like, especially when it comes to vegetables and a good cost-effective way to do vegetables, I love getting them frozen because I don't have to worry about them going bad in the fridge. And that's one of the things with fruit too happens. I always buy the bagged frozen fruit because I love them, they last, but my son loves eating the fresh fruit. But if he doesn't eat it, it goes bad. They're rotted in like 2-3 days. So that's why I like to get the frozen alternatives because they just last longer. So again, another cost-effective way to do it. But you just have to know these little tricks and tips, and that's how you're ultimately gonna save money, get healthier, look better, and that's it. So eating healthy is not expensive. Stop using that as an excuse. If you wanna learn all these other things, just click that link below and pick up one of our signature products. I'll catch you guys on the next one.